estimated impact in T-minus 5 minutes. Date is January 12th, 2103.
Whoa, slow down there. Let's go back.
Are you okay, Simon? I think you're bleeding.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
Here, take this.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that. Why now?
Who's David Munchie?
Why is there never enough time? Time.
Imagine if Half-Life,
Stop fucking with the microwave!
Amnesia, and Subnautica
This is my own private domicile and I will not be harassed!
had a baby. Well, that would probably result in some eldritch horror beyond our imagination. Or we would maybe get SOMA. Frictional Games, the developers who created SOMA, also created a little game called Amnesia. And the DNA from Amnesia can certainly be seen in SOMA. The ability to pick up every item you see for no reason, a convoluted and deep storyline, and most importantly, sheer terror. But the thing is, SOMA isn't just a horror game. It's an experience that gaslights you throughout your entire playthrough and then breaks your heart and your mind several times over. We wake up to a phone call in an apartment. Someone named David Munchie discusses a brain scan with us.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hi, Simon Jarrett?
Yeah, that's me.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan. I remember.
Are you alright?
Yeah, just a bad dream. Are we still on for today?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling. I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, I'll see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you soon.
He also tells us our character's name.
Hi,
Simon Jarrett.
Yeah, that's me.
In the cabinet, we find the tracer fluid, and we drink it.
Feels like milk, but the taste, it's like sucking on a penny. Summer's coming. Hope it's a good one.
In Simon's apartment are several clues giving us some context about Simon's life and his accident. In the drawer of Simon's desk, we find a newspaper clipping regarding the accident he was involved in. It states that someone named Ashley, who was Simon's passenger during the accident, was killed. Oddly enough, the article goes into excruciating detail, noting how her lungs filled with blood, which suffocated her. On Simon's laptop is an email from a doctor, noting how excessive stress could be fatal. And the reasoning for this is because of the brain damage Simon received during his accident with Ashley. This is also the same reason why he's going in for a brain scan. There is also an unsent draft to Simon's coworker regarding his time off for his appointment.
Forgot to hit send. Does it matter?
We find a photo of Simon with a woman, possibly Ashley. We send the unsent draft, grab our keys, and leave. On the train ride, we get a call from Jesse, our coworker. And just do me a favor and listen to how great this conversation is.
Jesse.
Hey, Simon. I got your email. Just wanted to wish you good luck and let you know I got you covered.
Thanks. I should be able to come to the store after the scan.
Don't sweat it. I got Matt and Chris helping me out.
Maddie from SNL?
Guess you didn't hear? He's coming in full time, working the comics section.
That's Ashley's job.
Yeah, well, you know.
Forget it. Not doing her any favors by leaving an empty spot. Not like she's coming back.
Well, Good luck. Hope they find a way to reverse the whole, dying thing.
Dying thing? You're the worst support ever.
What should I say?
I'll see you later, Jesse. Don't burn the place down while I'm gone.
Over and out, buddy.
It almost feels like they genuinely started laughing while recording this. We depart the train and enter Munchie's practice.
Hello? Dr. Munchie? Where is everyone? Thought this place would be busy.
And things are pretty strange here. The lights are off, the walls are halfway painted, and nobody's here. Simon tries calling Munchie's cell phone, which just goes straight to voicemail.
Let's just call Munchie real quick. Great. Got his phone turned off.
Interestingly, we find a page from a scientific journal where Munchie is referred to as a computer science student, not a medical doctor. Looking through some documents, we find a code for the door. 2501? 2507? We'll just try both. We enter the facility and find Munchie at the end of the hall, in a room full of servers and computer equipment.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in. Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is this part of your thesis work?
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with brain reconstruction, to help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready. Please don't touch anything. Please, have a seat.
The seat that he wants us to take is eerily similar to the electric chair. But hey, with a few months to live, we'll take our chances.
You know I have a serious condition, right? You heard about the car crash, the X months to live deal?
Simon reiterates to Munchie how he only has, quote, X months to live. And Munchie says how this treatment could give him years, if not decades, back to his life.
Completely. But we should be able to make those X months turn into years. Decades even. And if you take care of yourself and don't do anything too crazy, we should be able to get you to outlive the best of us.
We sit in the machine.
Out of the way. You are Simon Jarrett, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada, Munchie. Born 1988, July 16.
Right.
Flat neurograph, version 6. Good.
Simon asks,
Will this hurt?
and Munchie responds,
It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture taken.
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
That's so. Well, let's hope they're wrong. Ready? Say cheese.
The procedure begins, and as the visor raises, we find ourselves somewhere completely different.
Hello? Mr. Munchie? Did something go wrong?
Simon falls into a panic, calling out for help.
I'm not supposed to put myself in... This is kind of stressing me out.
What is this place? How did I get here?
With no sign of Munchie, or anyone for that matter, we push on, looking for someone, anyone. The only thing we know about our current situation is that there's blood all over the floor, and several several strange, futuristic suits line the walls. What is for certain is that we're in one bad situation. Hey, you see this ugly motherfucker right here? Well, he thinks he's gonna beat me to 100,000 subscribers. Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I have a pretty good shot.
Make the right choice. Subscribe.
Subscribe to Beambody.
In this room, we notice a large cracked window. Grabbing a metal grate and throwing it through gives us our exit. Entering the hallway, we notice a strange, mangled mess of wires and some sort of glowing flesh-like matter oozing from the walls. Scattered throughout the building are these intercom devices, which, when interacted with, give us a playback of the last transmission.
It'll be a hard time getting the doors open.
I'll perma-seal as many as you can. Rather not take any chances.
Roger. Did you cut off the factory floor?
All done? Should keep most of them out.
Walking further down the hall, we find a room full of robots, and one of them can be interacted with, giving us this haunting recording.
Hey you. Can you talk? Can you talk like the others? Why are you like this? You want some structure, Joe? Yeah, you do. So weird. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna shut you down now, okay? Yeah, you're creepy as hell, so I'm gonna shut you down.
How did I do that?
Wow, that sound design is unmatched. Okay, maybe Dead Space, but yeah. Continuing through the maze-like facility, we find a room containing an Omni tool. This will act as a key to almost every door throughout the entirety of the game, and has another useful feature. Making our way back to the room we started in, we connect the Omni tool to the terminal, which gives us several options. Picking the strange, distorted one, which can almost read progress scan, we see sub_Simon Jarrett and AUT_David Munchie. And also scattered in there is Toronto, Simon's hometown. Somehow, this unfamiliar device has all of this information on us. Using the terminal, we install a tool chip.
Tool chip security cipher updated.
And carry on back to a locked door that we found at the end of the hallway. As the door opens, we enter a large glass corridor. And it's at this point we realize we're deep underwater. On a desk we find several drawings of sea creatures that look rather deformed. Something that SOMA does so much better than other games is visual storytelling. There are literally hundreds of little details scattered throughout the game that give major plot points. If you aren't thorough enough, there is so much information you can miss out on. Everything from drawings, notes, and seemingly pointless computer logs all hold value in the world building. The sounds of the buildings creaking, the ominous shuffling, and the unavoidable sense of loneliness. It all accumulates into a sense of dread, if not containing a glimmer of hope. We head through a tunnel, walk up a set of stairs, and make the mistake of touching a sparking door button. One thing to note are these strange flower-like organic blobs. Simon touches them for some reason, and uses it as a way to heal himself.
Ah! What was that?
This will make more sense later.
It doesn't hurt anymore.
From the same room, we enter a ventilation shaft. Crawling down, we encounter that. Exiting at the other side, we enter some sort of power plant. On the ground, we encounter a robot speaking like a human. And when I say speaking like a human, I mean this robot genuinely believes that it's human. The terminal here is inaccessible, and in order to use it, we need to redirect the power back from this robot. As we grab the strange cords that are feeding out through it, it begs and pleads, and cries out in pain.
I need it. Why? I was okay. I was happy.
After restoring power to the system, we're able to use the terminal to contact someone from another station. Our first contact with a human.
What's happening? Hello? Is there anyone there?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you. Upsilon, what's going on?
I have no idea. I just sort of woke up here.
In the room right now?
It was like a seat with a helmet.
Is that right? What's your name?
I'm Simon Jarrett.
And what do you... signal... Damn relays. Where are you now?
Someplace dealing with electrical power. I'm not sure if it's a plant or a transformer.
Yeah, you're probably in the thermal plant somewhere. You want to go upstairs to the comm center. It's the room with the dome ceiling.
Simon desperately tries to get answers, but it seems that there's a bad connection.
Hello?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. We lost another relay. Just listen, head for the comm center upstairs. I'll wait here.
And she advises that we continue to the communication room at the top of the facility to initiate further contact with her. Entering the power plant, we fall off a catwalk and encounter our first enemy, the Construct. In order to proceed to the next area, we need to turn these valves. And with how slow and janky they are, it really adds a lot of tension with the monster walking directly behind us. Thankfully, we're able to do so without much incident and make our way to the next floor. Here is where we run into Carl. Carl is a robot who believes he's human.
What the hell happened to you?
What are you?
Are you blind? It's me, Carl Semke. Wrangler? Any of this sound familiar to you?
We ask Carl if he's human, to which he responds,
Shit, did my body give it away? I try hard staying a mystery. Yeah, I'm human. Are you?
He's so convinced, in fact, that he says, quote,
Seeing it. I see a machine, a robot talking.
What the hell are you looking at? I'm here. See?
Okay. I just didn't expect you to look like that.
You're really hung up on appearances, you know that?
And while Carl may seem fine and well, his end is truly tragic. Nearby, we find various drawings and notes from Carl himself, depicting himself and Amy, a potential love interest. On a nearby terminal, we see that we need a code, and thankfully, that code is closer than we think. Down a hallway, we find a body. Carl's body. Looking at his ID, we get the code we need. Strangely, in the same matter that we are able to listen to the robots in the intercom, we're able to hear the last few moments of Carl's life. While this will be explained later, for now, all we can do is speculate.
So that's it? Enough power to run Pathos 2 until the next apocalypse. We're ready to go. We've sealed everything from the barracks to the comm center. If anyone ever sets their foot here again, they're gonna have a hell of a time getting around.
Using the ID number we just got, we unlock the terminal and try to restore power to the station. We get an error message saying insufficient power, and the terminal offers us a solution. Divert power from these two sources. One of them being Carl's power source. Thankfully, there's another option. Down the hall is a power station where we can divert power. Nearby is a note attached that gives us a fair warning, saying, make sure you want this bad enough. We ignore the note and flip the switch. We go back to check on Carl, but he's dead. But now we have bigger problems. The construct is back. Yeah, so let's try that again. See, my dumbass thought that we had to do something on this terminal, but all we really had to do was hit this lever. After doing so, we successfully walk upstairs to the comm room. And this is where we start getting fed bits and pieces of the lore. On a bulletin board, we find several documents talking about an impact. And apparently there were global efforts to stop said collision. And the impact may have caused earthquakes affecting this facility. This is a possible explanation for the state of everything, but not for the strange robots. One of the notes also gives us a date. January 12th, 2103. That is a long way from 2015. Going to the terminal, we find some voice recordings, dated 4 months after the supposed catastrophe. Apparently, there were plenty of survivors down here who were making attempts to evacuate to another location. So, what happened? How are we nearly 100 years in the future, and what happened to the rest of the world? Tuning to the correct station and making contact with Catherine again, we seem to be on a very different page.
Hey, are you there? I found the dome ceiling.
Oh, that's better. Simon, was it?
Jarrett, Simon Jarrett.
Hi, Simon. I'm Catherine. Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Catherine is confused as to why we are here and mentions something named Pathos 2. As we will soon learn, this is the name of the operation that is happening here underwater. Within this facility are multiple stations. The one we are currently in is Upsilon.
No, I mean, where did you work at Pathos 2?
I don't know what that is.
That's unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, I did. And it was very unexpected.
Have you seen any people? Like staff or field technicians?
Only robots, crazy ones.
This is all so strange.
You're telling me. What was that? Whoa!
The building we are currently in begins to collapse, and Catherine instructs us to take a shuttle to Site Theta.
How do I get there?
There are shuttle trains connecting all the sites. Find one and come here. I'll wait for you.
Shit! Where should I? Oh, fuck!
The rush of water knocks us out. And as we wake up, Simon expresses our exact thoughts.
What the hell? How is this possible? This is insane!
A suit of some kind appears on our body. Now, what the hell is this? Is this some sort of simulation? A dream? We know for certain earlier that we did not have a suit on, as when we were getting up from the chair, we looked down at our hands. No suit in sight. With lots of questions and virtually no answers, we carry on. And I'd like to mention, for a game that is nearly a decade old, the graphics rival that of most modern AAA games. Sure, the technical fidelity isn't the same, but the environments, lighting, and general art direction are beautiful. Think of Dark Souls 3. FromSoft made some of the most breathtaking fantasy landscapes and managed to make it run on this toaster oven.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell.
It's not about how many pores you can see on someone's face. That's not what makes a game look good. It's about the vibes. But I digress. Continuing towards the shuttle, we find another intercom, giving us this haunting message from none other than Amy.
Come in, Theta. You better answer me, Strasky. Come on!
Amy, where are you?
The fields. I had to leave.
Is Carl with you?
It all went to hell.
Hold on.
All that we knew of her was that she was a close friend of Carl's. In the midst of her argument, she exclaims,
Fuck the power! Fuck you, Strasky! The machines killed Carl.
likely referring to the robots that were hunting us throughout the facility.
I think so. I'll head for the shuttle, the Aux.
Good luck, Amy. Rooting for you.
Taking a wrong turn, we find another bot, seemingly in agony, and asking for something for the pain. This dialogue clearly indicates that these bots can feel pain, or at least believe that they are feeling pain. This does create a major moral dilemma for us, but we have no time to figure that out. Using the help of this cute and friendly bot we saved from underneath a pile of rocks, he cuts into the shuttle station, granting us access. Inside the station, we hear another transmission from Amy to Theta. She continuously asks for someone named Stratsky.
I can't. Where are you now? Strasky! I'm at the shuttle, but it's not looking good. The lights flicker like mad. I think the power regulator is broken.
And says how she needs to make repairs to the power regulator.
I don't want to get stranded halfway to Theta. What was that? I can't hear you. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Somehow.
Arriving at the shuttle, it's evident that she has not yet fixed the power issue. Taking our own journey to the power station, we find a note with a list of supplies and a sketch of Carl and a tablet, which gives us some details of the impact event. Comet Talos impacted with Earth, making the surface, quote, unable to sustain life. There's also a video message from Carl, confessing his love to Amy.
I guess it's a good thing we never had any kids. Hard enough looking my parents in the eyes. Hell, I'm not even sure you'll get this message. If you do, I want you to know I never blamed you for following your dreams. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm proud of you. And even though it's been difficult to be separated from you, I regret nothing. I'm happy. And I really wish I was able to say this without the sky falling down. I love you, Amy. I always have, and always will.
Making our way through a tunnel to the power station, we find Amy herself. Who tells us,
Hey, are you?
Don't hurt me!
Can I help?
It won't let me die. Nothing is allowed to die.
She shakily asks for help, and above her head, we see artificial lungs with tubes that go into her chest. This is connected to the seemingly omnipresent organic mass that we can find growing throughout the walls of the entire facility. This situation is nearly identical to the robot that we found at the power station. Without any other option to restore power, we disconnect the tubes going into the control panel, which leads to this awful sequence.
Oh, fuck.
But given the fact that she said, "It won't let me die," I feel as though we did her a favor. What a truly horrible thing. Rotting away in some dark corner, with nobody to talk to, and without the ability to die. It seems that without our intervention, Amy could have stayed here forever, in endless torment. Whatever this mass is, it seems to be feeding off the building's power and resources to keep anything and everything alive, biological or not. Going back to the shuttle, we begin our journey to Theta. We receive a pleasant infographic giving us a brief on the purpose of this facility, which is apparently its space gun and deep-sea research. After a collision with debris on the track, we're forced to continue on foot. Talking to Catherine on the phone.
Simon, are you there?
Catherine, is that you? I was on my way, but then the shuttle train, it fucking crashed.
Simon then has a chance to speak his true thoughts.
No, I'm not alright. What the hell happened to the world? Why are we underwater?
Wow, you're really out of place, aren't you?
She tells us that we are close to Lambda, and that we should use the maintenance hatch to get back outside.
I gotta go. See you soon, Simon.
After a quick healing session with the alien anus, we open the hatch and continue our journey. Making it to the ocean floor, Simon hilariously says,
I can find Lambda, right? I mean, really, how big can this ocean be?
After a brief stroll through the ocean floor, we make it to Lambda. Outside the facility is some sort of capsule, but it has no power.
Unable to activate. Escape vessel. Protocol missing.
Finally, entering Lambda, we have a close encounter with this terrifying creature.
Catherine?
Catherine tells us not to look at it, and, well, we immediately look at it. But thankfully, it fucks off, and we get to meet Catherine.
I'm right next to you.
No, not you too. I was really hoping you were human.
And we're rather disappointed.
Human once.
Can't take it anymore. Everything's fucked. I give up. There's nothing left.
When we bring up the notion that we may be the last human left alive, Catherine drops this on us.
No one left except for me.
What do you mean? I'm right here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I meant any humans left except for me.
Have you looked at yourself lately? You're a walking, talking diving suit with some electronics slapped on for good measure.
I don't.
You don't want to think about it? We'll start thinking about it.
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be this. I want out.
Well, that sort of explains the strange events in the comm room, but we definitely haven't gotten it all figured out yet. Catherine then asks for help in finding out what happened to her project.
Before you do anything hasty, could you help me with something?
What?
I was trying to find out what happened with my project when that brute knocked me to the ground.
Your project?
She asks us to do just this one thing for her. And, spoiler, this is in fact not the only thing we are going to do for her.
And get back to work? Then you can sulk as much as you want.
You gotta be kidding, right? I think I have a better chance of building myself a time machine than of putting you back together.
I just need to access the computer. Oh, is that an Omnitool you're carrying?
Oh, the door opener? I picked it up at Upsilon where I woke up.
That'll have to do. Plug it into the terminal.
Sure, whatever.
Should be easy enough. Just pick up the chip and slide it into the Omnitool.
Why does a robot chip fit a door opener?
It's standardized connection.
Catherine? Alright, let's give this a try.
We take her Cortex chip out of the robot and place it into our Omnitool.
Custom Cortex chip found. Shutting down helper chain. Have a nice day.
Given the name Cortex chip, homage to a frontal cortex, it's safe to assume this holds a consciousness digitally, or in this case, Catherine's. Interestingly, we can see that her Cortex chip has some of that strange glowing mass growing from within it. This will be important later, so keep this in mind.
Just pretty much anything will fit. Oh, this feels weird.
Catherine briefs us on her project, which is ambitious, to say the least.
Project about?
My project? Oh, well, I saved all the people on the station as brain scans and put them into an artificial world. We were going to launch it into space to save it from, all of this.
Are you telling me that you were going to launch a computer world filled with people into space?
Yes. It was just a pet project at first, but it got really serious after the comet took out the surface. Then suddenly it became very important, and it was officially named the Ark.
That's appropriate. How far did you get?
She tells us how she is in fact a copy of the real Catherine, and that one could still be alive. She's weary that the machines that we saw earlier were her brain scans, considering their strange behavior. She asks us to check on the status of the Ark by going to the next room.
Oh. Could you do me a favor and run into the other room and have a look? I don't seem to be able to view the files in this condition. I need to know that the Ark is safe. What was it you said before? You're from Toronto?
Yeah, I just went in for a brain scan and suddenly here I am.
That doesn't make any sense. How? Why would anyone bring a scan from Toronto?
You think that's strange? What if I tell you it was back in 2015?
Whoa.
The very first thing we see are interviews. The first two are very optimistic about the idea.
At first, I couldn't really see the point of it. But then I thought, why shouldn't we, right?
It can definitely be done. You already solved the biggest problem. How to actually get us all in there.
The third one, Mark Sarang, is as well. But he poses an interesting question. What does it mean to be human?
Every definition. It really makes you think about what it means to be human.
What makes you say that?
It's my sincerest belief that we can go on living through the reality of continuity.
This is a topic that SOMA will bring up regularly and also questions regularly. This whole topic relates to the ideas of digital immortality, posthumanism, and even the ship of Thesis. But those are topics that will be covered later on. On this terminal are also several images of what this digital world looks like. A city, a park, and a residential area. For the uninformed, the Ark refers to the biblical story of Noah's Ark. Noah spent 120 years constructing a massive ship to fit his family and one pair of every animal species, all in an effort to save humanity and all other animals from a great world-ending flood. The parallels of sending this digital Ark into space are quite obvious. Next on the terminal is a very ominous questionnaire, with questions like, how would you describe your physical conditions? The final question is the most haunting. Would you rather be removed from the project and accept death? After that uncomfortable series of questions, we are able to locate the Ark at the Tau facility.
I found it. It's at a site named Tau.
Oh, no, it's on Earth. It's so close to Phi, they almost made it. Damn it, it won't make it for long in that state. A couple of decades at most. That's not much to build a future.
If we got to it, could we get on the Ark?
I suppose, but I'm not exactly flexible at the moment.
She seems to panic a bit about this, and Simon reminds Catherine of the vehicle that we found outside of the facility, and she thinks it's worth a try.
I'll just carry you there and you'll show me what to do.
That sounds really risky. Besides, I don't like the idea of you carrying me around.
You know what? I found a sunken vessel just outside. Bet that could take us to Theta.
Really?
Didn't look completely out of action. It even lit up a little when I tried the Omni tool on it.
Okay then, let's have a look. I'll just eject from this thing. Don't forget to take me with you.
Before we take the Omni tool to the vehicle, Catherine asks for reassurance that we plug her back in.
Can I pull the Omni tool out?
Wait. Okay, just be sure to plug me in again at some point.
You got it.
Good luck, Simon.
Considering the way that her brain just paused when we moved her Cortex chip from her bot to the Omni tool.
Just pretty much anything will fit. Oh, this feels weird.
It's safe to assume that if we never plug her back in, she is essentially dead. Her existence would be on pause for eternity. Grabbing Catherine, we exit and make our way to the submersible.
What? What is this? Curie Emergency Vessel 4.
Hopefully it doesn't run off an Xbox controller.
Hey Simon, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you get this thing running?
Hang on, I'll give it a try.
Unfortunately, this one doesn't work. But Catherine says that we can find a functioning one in another vessel named the Curie.
The CV came from Curie. It was a ship that used to make runs between Lambda and Lisbon. Looks like their wreck is close. Maybe you can find a vessel like this one inside.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll just save the security information and update the Omnitool.
She updates the security information on our Omnitool, and we head that way. On our way to the Curie, we encounter the same strange creature from Theta, standing ominously at the top of this ridge. Approaching the behemoth of a vessel that is slowly being reclaimed by nature, we climb up a series of broken ladders and stairs until we finally make our way inside of the hull. Looking around a bit, we can see that this place was once teeming with life and people with families, all of which have met a bitter end. Entering the hallway, we come face to face with the creature we have seen lurking before. And in the complete opposite manner of SCP-173, the last thing we want to do is look at it. Within the brief moments... Wait, pause. Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
I was like, damn, what you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass, the sun is still out.
Within the brief moments that we are able to evade it, we see these haunting videos playing on the screens in the ship.
In the distance, I can see land. According to navigation, it's Lisbon, the coast of Portugal. Any signs of life?
This is a terrifying reality that any of those who survived on the surface would have witnessed.
The flames, they're reaching all the way into the sky. It's unreal. Any signs of life? Over. No. Nothing but a massive firestorm covering the continent.
This small video clip that we just watched lends excellently to SOMA's world building. We have this unimaginable sense of dread and loneliness down here, thousands of feet underwater, and we can't help but feel sorry for those who are on the surface. We get this everything is terrible feeling while getting pushed along with a glimmer of hope thanks to Catherine. It's that back and forth that SOMA does with your emotions that really makes it captivating. After cowering in a corner several times and avoiding eye contact with the being, we make our way to the second floor, where we find a functional submersible. Plugging the Omnitool in, Catherine tells us that we need to activate the emergency power on the ship to power the sub.
You made it! This is much better. Let's see if we can't get this thing moving. Wait, what? Safety locks are blocking the vessel's release. Are you kidding? How much more of an emergency could this ship be in? It's on the bottom of the sea. Take a look at the engine room and see if you can figure it out. Maybe there's an override or something.
On this level, we see more images of the catastrophe on the surface, and hear the final disturbing message from the captain of the Curie.
Submerged. The crew, what's left of it, is doing okay. For the rest of the world, there's no good way to describe it. The destruction is absolute. The surface is just gone. Attention crew, this is your captain speaking. The final efforts to stop the comet have officially failed. Impact is imminent.
The asteroid that was theorized to have caused the mass extinction of dinosaur life was suspected to have been 6 miles in diameter. The asteroid landed mostly in the Gulf of Mexico, with only a small portion of it making contact with dry land. Scientists theorize that if the asteroid were to land just a couple of minutes later, the damage it caused would have been much less severe. This 6-mile wide asteroid was nerfed pretty hard by landing in the ocean. If the asteroid in this universe landed in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and was still able to cause fires across all of the land in Portugal, it must have been significantly larger, or at least traveling at a faster speed. Making it to the power room, we disconnect the WOW lines from the reactor. And while doing so... shit.
Warning. Reactor collapse imminent. Proceed to the emergency business.
Making a mad dash back to the sub, we slam the door shut and make a hasty escape.
Taking so long. We need to pump
Can't you do it any faster?
I'm almost there.
Alright, here we go. Hold on to something.
Can you steer this thing?
Starboard rudder is choking.
We talked to Catherine about heading to Theta, and she brings up how the WOW was keeping the ship from collapsing.
It should be a matter of minutes.
Thought I was done for back there.
Seems like the WOW is keeping the Curie from going into a catastrophic failure state. I mean, how did it get on the ship?
Simon asks if the WOW is the strange fleshy tentacle mass we've been encountering, and Catherine explains how the WOW is a malfunctioning station-wide artificial intelligence.
About the black tentacles in the engine room? I've seen them before at Upsilon. What are they?
They're a manifestation of a malfunctioning station-wide artificial intelligence called the WOW.
Station-wide? So we just made a powerful enemy.
No, it's not like that. The AI isn't a persona. It doesn't feel or think like we do. It's more like a cancer.
Was that the ship?
Looks like your sabotage worked better than expected. Brace for impact! Hold on! The blast just pushed us off the plateau!
What does that mean?
If I don't hit Delta, we're dead.
We wake up in the wreckage of the ship, which is now filled with water. A laser cuts open the door for us. We climb out and thankfully see ourselves at Delta. Our little robot friend saved us once again.
Oh, hey, little guy. Didn't expect to see you again.
We climb up and find a body in a tower with a a tablet device laying next to it. On it are a series of images of two people in a dive suit. One of them strangely had blood oozing out of their body in the last two photos. Interacting with the corpse, we hear a transcript of their last words again. This person is reaching out to someone named Stratsky.
Theta, listen.
She warns of someone named Akers, who has gone mad and is, quote, dangerous. While it appears that whoever she is talking to is not able to hear her, she says,
It's Como Rigby. Akers has gone mad. He's dangerous. Stratsky!
Sorry, Delta. Still no audio. Try calling from another access point.
Stratsky? I can try sending... I have pictures.
Apparently, whatever we saw in those photos was the work of this Akers. Making our way to the facility, we find a robot floating around, who says,
Hell of a day, am I right? Can't believe how much I'm sweating in this suit.
This bot seems completely unaware of our presence, or its own situation. Using our laser buddy to help us open another door, we enter a catastrophic scene, and find a body laying on the floor, not too unsimilar from the one we just saw in the tower.
You saw that, right? You saw Akers fucking injecting that shit into them?
Listening to this person's last words, they talk about how Akers was injecting people with something. Likely what was causing the blood to ooze from the suits in the photos that we just saw.
Can you see him?
Fuck! He got on the Zeppelin. He's going back to Theta. We have to warn them.
Good luck with that. The platform radio is dead. Remember?
The Lumar Annex should work. It has to.
Yeah. You go. I'm not gonna make it. I'm just not.
And unfortunately, it seems that whoever this was also injected. On the terminal, we see an unsent message to Stratsky at Theta, warning them about Akers. In the next building, there's an even more disturbing scene. The floor and walls are covered in blood, and bloody writing, as well as many other strange drawings and symbols. A paragraph etched into the wall in blood reads, "The light is hurting my eyes. He's telling me I don't need this vitreous flesh inside my skull to see salvation. I will gladly remove them, stop them from obfuscating this divine mission." These strange and nonsensical drawings are likely from all of the people here who were going crazy. We know from earlier that communication between the stations was cut off.
Sorry, Delta. Still no audio. Try calling from another access point.
And that supplies were running low. it's likely that whoever was stuck here was slowly or rapidly losing their minds. And knowing that you're the only people left on Earth, deep underwater, with apparently no way to return to the surface, I don't blame them. The terminal on this table has a chess game open, which is unfortunately unplayable.
Oh my rook, what am I doing? Oh my god, dude!
Going back outside and walking towards the edge, we see why Catherine said that missing Delta would lead to certain death. Controlling the radar tower with a nearby terminal, we're able to connect to the signal at Theta, which allows us to call in a Zeppelin. This will be our means of transport to Theta. The Zeppelin finally arrives and we plug Catherine back in. She is forgivably surprised when she pops back into and out of existence.
Ah!
Calm down, we're safe.
Oh, it's really disconcerting popping in and out of existence like that. Where are we now?
Delta, at least that's what you said before the crash.
Unfortunately, we are unable to use the Zeppelin without a tool chip.
Oh, the tool chip is bust.
Isn't that part of the Omni tool?
Look who's been paying attention.
I had to deal with that back at Upsilon.
Then you know how it works. We need to get a new tool chip and switch it.
Catherine suggests that we take a stun baton from the toolbox and incapacitate a robot and steal its tool chip.
Just knock a robot over the head and steal their chip? Guess I have no choice.
We head over to the one that was talking like a human and put it down. It cries out in pain. And as we deliver a fatal blow, it crashes, and we take its tool chip.
I hope this works.
Confronted with this moral dilemma, Simon talks to Catherine, saying,
He was talking. I mean, he was delusional, but he seemed sincere.
Don't stand there, you know better than that.
Present.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's fine.
Catherine seems rather indifferent, and Simon goes on to say,
To sink in. I mean, really sink in. I'm a robot.
Didn't we cover this already?
Guess I've known ever since I woke up at Upsilon. I just keep suppressing it. Like my brain doesn't want me to think about it. It's really getting hard not to think about it.
Yeah. Could you maybe hit that switch over there so we could get moving?
Oh.
Again, Catherine refuses to converse with us on this topic. And understandably, she most likely thinks that this line of thought may get between her and her goal of getting to the Ark. We activate the Zeppelin and begin our journey to Theta. The eerie silence of the endless void fills us with a great sense of unease. Catherine then finally breaks the silence by describing how we will make our way to the depths of the ocean and find the Ark.
Yeah.
We should touch down on a cargo platform just outside Theta. Then we just head inside, grab the Dunbat, and head down the abyss. 4,000 meters. That's a long way. We don't have to worry though, because with the Dunbat, the Ark could have been in the Mariana Trench. It'll hold for anything.
She speaks of a vehicle called the Dunbat, which is located inside Theta. We have some witty conversation with Catherine, and further discuss our existential crisis.
Then we can start listening to other people when they talk, because that's how conversations work.
What? Oh, sorry. I just can't stop thinking about what we've become. It's clear that we're no longer human. But then how can I feel like Simon? How can I feel like anything at all? I mean, technically, I don't have any ears, no mouth. Christ, it's a weird thing to think about. I mean, I'm making sounds. I'm still saying things.
You sure are. Okay. Your new body most likely has senses similar to those you had as a human. And your mind, only knowing one way to perceive the world, superimposes that skill set on top of your new features. With you.
Kath, before you go, the artificial intelligence you mentioned in the escape vessel?
Uh-huh, yeah, the Warden unit, the WOW.
Is it the WOW's fault that we're like this? I mean, it seems like something an unreliable AI would do.
I suppose it set the ball in motion, but it's not directed with purpose. It's really complicated to explain how machines think, Simon. Concentrate on getting inside Theta, okay? See you soon.
Arriving at Theta, we listen to an intercom just outside the front doors. Someone named Strohmeyer talks about some of the controversy surrounding the ARC project. From the sounds of it, someone named Sarang, which, if we look back to the audio recordings about the ARC at Lambda, we can recall this Mark Sarang.
It's my sincerest belief that we can go on living through the reality of continuity.
He has convinced at least one person, and possibly himself, to end their own lives for the sake of continuity.
There's a lot of arguments the last few months. I'm not going to pretend I understand what the hell Sarang talked about and how his continuity suddenly made sense to kill yourself. For the fucking love of God, or whatever you think is important, don't kill yourself. This place is miserable enough. Don't force your friends to clean up your blood.
We also find a handheld radio device containing conversations between Catherine and someone named Sarah.
Catherine? I'm busy working.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for what you did.
Don't worry about it, but you should stand up for yourself. I mean, Strohmeyer doesn't have that kind of authority. You could just tell him to go fuck himself.
Oh, I just don't. I'm not that kind of a person.
This is giving us some clues as to the kind of person Catherine was before everything went to shit.
But sometimes you just disappear into yourself. Suddenly it's like talking to a fucking 5-year-old.
It's just hard. I can't just be more like that. Everyone would know I'm pretending.
It's not too late to win people over. Strasky likes you. I like you. Reed likes you.
Strasky likes everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, you think Reed likes me?
Catherine, a lot of people like you. You just need to open up a little. Be more approachable. Can I get back to work now? I'd rather not be reprimanded twice in one day.
Okay. See you back inside.
Over and out.
Laying on the ground near the entrance to Theta is a badly disfigured robot.
Am I already here?
Hello?
Who is that? Mark?
No, we haven't met before.
Is this the ARC?
I think we're safe.
Just like Carl from Upsilon, she is unaware of the fact that she is not a robot. She identifies herself as Robin Bass and is in a dazed state.
Robin Bass, Theta Field Service Technician.
Nice to meet you, Robin.
And hauntingly, she says,
I got scanned, like the others. And then I killed myself. At least I think so. I can't remember that part.
Robin then goes on to explain the flawed logic of how killing your human self will allow your copy to live on in the ARC. While this is technically true, what is the harm of having a copy of yourself in the ARC if you aren't making any contact with it? What difference does it make?
Omicron? Wasn't sure Catherine would be able to scan you guys. You're lucky. There was a lot of talk about this at Theta. The idea is, when you're activated in the ARC, there's basically two of you, right? One human, one living scan in the ARC. You don't want your copy to survive you. You yourself want to survive on the ARC. If the human you dies before the scan is initiated, or closely after, you yourself would live on in the ARC. Amazing, right?
Robin also confirms that Catherine was not the one inciting people to end their own lives.
No. I don't think you understand. She just did scans and put them into the ARC.
While it is clear that Simon is contemplating whether or not to tell Robin the reality of her situation, he decides not to, and plays into the "this is the ARC" idea that Robin is living in.
I thought there would be like 40 or 50 people here.
I don't know. I'll let you know if I see anyone. Robin, I'm not sure how to say this.
What?
This is...
Yeah?
Pretty amazing, right? I mean, the ARC.
Yeah, it's great. Catherine and the guys have really pulled through. They saved us all.
See you later.
Will do.
We can see that next to Robin is a cord feeding into her, identical to the way that we found Amy and that one bot at Omicron. Clearly, the game is giving us the option to spare her life or take her out of her misery, and at this point, I don't want to have any more blood on my hands. But later on, we realize this is a tragic mistake.
Hello? Anyone there?
We enter the eerily abandoned Theta facility and walk into the control room. As we plug Catherine in, she tells us,
Okay, great. Time to hijack ourselves a submarine. There will be nothing stopping us when we have the Dunbat.
You guys sure have a lot of machines and vehicles down here. What makes this one so special?
It's the only transport that can go into the abyss without cracking like a can of soup.
If this is one of a kind, then how did they get the Ark down the abyss in the first place?
That's a good question. I suppose they did it the hard way and just walked.
Didn't realize that was an option.
Here we go. The Dunbat! Ah, damn it. I knew it was too good to be true.
What's wrong?
It's quarantine.
Unfortunately, as expected, the Dunbat is locked with a chip cipher.
How bad is it?
It's we don't write these things down type of bad. We need a security cipher. I'll just unlock the other doors for you so you can explore the station.
Catherine unlocks the rest of the facility for us to explore, and we go out and search for said cipher. Walking down a series of tunnels, we make our way to a residential area. Yeah, I definitely didn't shit my pants there. In the bathroom, we get our first look at ourselves. And just as Catherine said before,
Have you looked at yourself lately? You're a walking, talking diving suit with some electronics slapped on for good measure.
In the common area, we find various photos of what life on Earth was like prior to the disaster. Going down the hall, we find multiple living quarters for those stationed here, although only a few are accessible. The first is Guy Conrad. Inside, we find various technical documents, equipment, and more photos of pre-disaster Earth, and Guy himself, presumably with his family. The next habitat we enter is none other than Catherine's.
Hey, that's my room.
You want me to bring something? A souvenir?
No, it's just memories.
In here, we find Catherine's journal, where she outlines her process of creating the Ark. She talks about how pilot seats can be used to easily upload brain scans to the Ark, and how she plans on uploading as many people into it to save humanity. Her final journey entry reads, Mark Sarang killed himself after the scan. He has been suggesting everyone else should kill themselves, as if it would somehow allow them to actually get on the Ark. I'm not sure how that would work. It did trigger a lot of arguments among the staff, and apparently, it's my fault somehow. Strohmeyer is not happy with me. Hopefully it will calm down.
Your teddy bear could use some repairs.
Toby always breaks. He's top heavy, so he keeps falling over.
The final room we enter is that of the infamous Mark Sarang. Posted on his walls are photos of the WoW, with scribblings and notes and mathematical equations. On his desk is his manifesto, which reads, Dear friends, when you read this, I will have entered the Ark. As I've explained, this is accomplished by ceasing to live as your scan is being completed. Do not frighten Catherine. I will do this in secret by folding cyanide salts into chewing gum and placing it in my mouth before seeing her. When I hear her announce completion, I will bite down, quickly causing my own end. When you discover the tragedy, I advise you to do the same and join me inside the Ark. Sincerely, Mark Sarang. There's also an audio recording from Sarang where he talks about how all 75 trillion cells that make up our body will be replaced throughout our lifetime, including the ones in our brain. This is a direct reference to the Ship of Theseus, or Theseus's paradox. The idea of the paradox is that over time, if a ship were to have every single piece replaced after years of use, down to the very last board and nail, is it still the same ship? I mean, it still has the same name, the same captain, the same crew, the same history, but is it the same ship? If we take this line of thought and apply it to yourself, are you still you from 5 years ago? You have the same name, the same color eyes, the same hair, but after all that time, every cell in your body is new, even the ones in your brain. A pen that sat on your desk for 5 years is the exact same pen it was 5 years ago. Every atom that it is comprised of is in the same arrangement, but you are completely different. For SOMA to bring this up halfway through the game, it really helped line up that feeling of existential dread. But moving on from that existential crisis, the end of Sarang's memo tries to convince the listener to remove their body and ensure that only one version of themselves exists.
If you took away your body, you would simply be the only one you can be. The you inside the Ark. Let your body die, and continue on in the digital paradise among the stars.
Despite this questionable logic, we move on to the final room, that of Robin Bass. Entering the room, we find a blood-covered bed and a razor. I'm sure you can piece together what happened here. Scattered throughout the room are photos of the same renders of the Ark that we saw back in Theta, with Robin's drawings on top of them. These are likely her vision of what the Ark would be. Happiness and companionship, almost heaven. There is also a photo of a cat. A note left on her desk reads, "We are all going to die anyway. I'm all in. I put my faith in Sarang and the continuity." Unfortunately, it seems her faith was misplaced. Just a few minutes earlier, we found Robin stuck in the body of a robot. And she was continuously asking,
"Is this hard?"
Robin's almost childish ambition towards the Ark is what ultimately led to her tragic end. There are many parallels between this line of thinking and certain cults that exist, and I'm sure the game is trying to reference those. But as it matters in terms of the story, it is all just tragedy in the face of hysteria. The entire world has gone to shit, and being completely isolated and hopeless has caused these people to latch on to anything that grants them a better life. In another room, we heal the way that we normally would, and Catherine is understandably shocked.
What the hell are you doing?
I know it looks bad, but it makes me feel a lot better. Helps me focus.
That's the wow you're hooking up to.
I need it, okay? I wouldn't have made it this far without it.
Let's just keep going.
Making our way to the other side of the facility, we enter a lab. Catherine tells us,
This is where I did my scan. And all the others, I suppose.
You don't remember?
My scan was the first. Had to test the scanner before I could start making promises.
Surrounding the chair in the center of the room is an ominous, poorly cleaned pool of blood. In a computer room that is completely overtaken by the WoW, the following entries on the terminal are some of the most important in the game. There is a list of legacy scans. There are various names with different data points attached to them, such as type, author, birth date, and death date. One of the entries, named Berg, has David Munchie attributed as the author.
David Munchie? How did this... What is this?
There is also a scan of Munchie himself, with the author being Paul Berg. Looking back towards the beginning of the game, if we looked closely at this document, we could see that Munchie's associate was Paul Berg. At the bottom of this list is Simon Jarrett. His death date is recorded at June 1st, 2015, less than 1 month after the scan happened. The following clip is from directly after the initial scan in Toronto.
That's it. Wow, that was fun. That's a relief. Still figuring this out, so...
It was freaky. So many lights. What do we do now?
Paul and I are going to run tests for a week or so, and then we'll work out a roadmap to your recovery.
Well, I feel excited. Can't wait to get back to the living.
I forgot why I paused here. Oh, the next clip is from 3 weeks after the scan.
We've worked everything out. Everything is legal. Vouched for by Dr. Peak and Professor Way.
Oh, that's great news.
No big change in medication. You'll be taking an aspirin every morning, but that's about it. Paul worked out a diet with some variations you should try out. You can continue doing physical therapy. Also, there's some extra cardio training every other day.
Okay, getting complicated.
Don't worry, it's really not. We're gonna keep an eye on you every week, so we'll be able to adjust the plan if needed.
And just 12 days later, there's this recording of Simon on his deathbed.
The model was sound. It should have worked.
It's not your fault, David.
I really wish things had turned out differently.
Yeah, me too.
I was supposed to save you.
Hey, you got my brain on file. Maybe you can put it to some use.
Yeah, who knows? You'd be okay with that? Using it for my research?
Sure. It's like a part of me lives on or something. Like a donated organ. You know what sucks about dying?
What?
The crash. Everything up till now, the brain damage, you guys, everything, has made my life so much more real. I started thinking about all the things I was going to do. I'd never been more excited to be alive. All that hope. Wasted.
Kath, what is this? Why do you have a file of me?
You are one of Dr. Munchie's templates. A legacy scan.
And at this point, all the pieces fit together. Simon is what they call a legacy scan, and what must have happened is that his scan was placed into a robot. And our experience thus far has been through the eyes of the digital recreation of the real Simon's brain. Every memory that this Simon has experienced is all a fabrication.
What's a legacy scan?
They're historic templates for AI construction. Any self-respecting engineer wouldn't use legacies anymore, but they're great for learning. They come with every development kit.
So, my brain scan turned into a template for artificial intelligence.
You should be proud.
So much for that mystery. No magic or time travel needed. I was here all along, waiting for someone to shove a picture of my brain into a suit and hit the power button.
The reason we experienced the strange time travel at the beginning of the game was due to that being the last moment that the brain scan was able to capture. And it was then left on a shelf for 100-something years, and then for some reason uploaded into a robot and turned on. Regardless of these circumstances, it seems worthwhile to help Catherine save humanity, at least to some extent. On the intercom in the lab is this exchange between Stratsky and the real Catherine.
Stratsky, come in. I need help in the lab, the scan room.
What happened?
Conrad killed himself after the scan.
Jesus, how?
Maser tool. What should I do?
I'm gonna need to tell Strohmeyer.
No, please. I'm so close. Strohmeyer's gonna shut down the ARC project. It's not my fault people keep killing themselves.
Catherine, are you okay?
Not even close.
Heading to the other side of the facility, we enter another lab, where we discover where the scans were stored, and Catherine casually roasts us.
This is where I would store the ARC scans.
Are they similar to my legacy file?
No, yours is flatter, if that makes sense, less dynamic.
Thanks. That makes me feel much better.
The terminal in this lab says we need to re-establish mainframe connection. So, that's what we head off to do.
Need to fix that mainframe connection.
Walking back through the residential area, Catherine drops this on us.
The last report filed by the staff mentioned struggling with something called a proxy. The proxy we killed was blind, just like Akers, but it listens. Careful, we spotted 2 more by the infirmary.
What do they look like?
Not sure. Seems to be human enough to pass for a crew member at a distance. Tall, dark, and ultimately faceless seems to be what to look out for.
I'll keep my eyes open.
What they are likely referring to is the strange creature that we encountered on the Curie. As we make our way to the lower levels, it turns out to be true. We avoid the terrifying evolution of the previous creature, which this time seems to be attracted to sound. This was a real butt-clenching part of the game. Moments like this are where Amnesia's DNA really shines through. The constant tension and helplessness culminate into pure terror. And as an avid horror game enthusiast, I can safely say this is one of the few times a game has made me extremely tense and just plain scared. Barely avoiding a horrible death, we restore the mainframe connection and meet one of the survivors. This gave me instant flashbacks to the consecrated snowfields in Dark Souls 3.
Go along. Find one for yourself. A sweetly rotting bed to lie upon.
Pull up his home address in chat. I want him killed. Clean shot to the head.
So, you're not worried that there are other Simons or Catherines running around out there?
Now I am. Geez, Simon, some thoughts are better left alone.
We load the brain scan of a security officer named Brandon Wan into the simulation in an attempt to extract the cipher from him. Testing each one of the 3 basic environments goes very poorly. He immediately panics, and we have to shut it down.
What are we doing exactly?
We're gonna have a talk with Mr. Wan. Use the computer to activate the simulation.
That wasn't so bad. Stromae really got me worked up, bastard. What? How did I get here?
Welcome back, Mr. Wan.
Dr. Chen, is that you? What happened? What is this place?
Everything's fine. Theta needs your help. We need the new security cipher.
Dr. Chun? I hear your voice, but there's no one here. There's no one here! It's empty. It's too empty. There's something really wrong with this place. No. Well, why are you doing this to me? I trusted you, Chun. I trusted you! Look at this place. It's a fucking joke. Get me out of here, Chun, or I'll punch your teeth in!
Do we need to turn it off? Can we just keep him alive until we've got the cipher?
The longer he's exposed to the computer model, the more he'll get hung up on it.
So, what's wrong with letting him settle in a little?
It would drive him insane. So let's keep the session short and the suffering to a minimum.
Catherine then opens up his habitat for us so that we can try to find any information that may help us get the cipher from him.
If we get to know him, maybe we can make the simulation a little smoother.
We find a note in his room that suggests he had a romantic relationship with someone named Alice. After listening to the conversation between Brandon and Alice on the intercom, Catherine is able to simulate Alice's voice in the simulation, in hopes of tricking Brandon into giving up the cipher.
I'll borrow to pack up their stuff. Head downstairs and I'll meet you there.
I think I just heard Alice talking to Brandon on the intercom. Seems like they were getting ready to leave.
You got that from the intercom? Must be a transmission buffer. Hang on. Great, this is exactly what we need. I think we got this, Simon. I can synthesize Alice's voice from the intercom and use it to impersonate her for the simulation. We can trick him into feeling safe enough to open up.
Great. Definitely feeling good about this.
Seems like Catherine has a proclivity to gaslighting. Keep that in mind.
Good job with the intercom. I didn't know you could data mine. What's it like?
It's just something that I do now.
So it comes naturally to you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll make sure to add it to my dating profile.
We also download a file from a terminal that simulates the scan lab. The plan is to make Brandon believe that he just woke up from the scan, and that Alice is sitting there right next to him, asking for the cipher.
That wasn't so bad. Stromae really got me worked up, bastard.
Well, that's what you get for listening to his stories.
I guess I had it coming.
About Stromae. He said he needed a new cipher ASAP. What should I tell him?
It's alright. I can talk to him.
Wait, didn't Chun just tell you to take it easy? Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
I do feel hungover. Okay. It's 1729 over 42, 12 over 407. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry, Mr. Wong. Right. Goodbye.
No, wait.
That's enough. We got what we need.
Is that what we are? Simulations?
Yeah, but it shouldn't make any difference. You're still you. I'm not sure what to do with the data. You decide.
We decide to delete it. We are not letting another Robin situation happen.
Rest in peace, Brandon.
We ask Catherine,
Catherine, couldn't we just have extracted the cipher from Brandon's data somehow? It's so cruel bringing him back like we did.
No, that's impossible. Memories don't work like that.
Let's just hope it was worth it.
but this kind of feels like she's gaslighting us. I'm not ready to start pointing fingers or call her a liar, but it does seem a little unbelievable for her to say that. Considering that all of these brain scans are what are in the Ark, how are we not able to upload his? Walking back to the security room, Catherine fires up the Dunbat.
Just warming up the Dunbat for us. It's been collecting dust for months, so it might need a minute.
And apparently, something isn't working.
Okay, that's it. That's everything. Let's go ahead and... That's weird. Never mind.
What do you need me to do?
Head inside the dock. The Omnitool can open the door now. And get into the Dunbat.
We head into the room and plug this stupid cord in that definitely didn't take me 20 minutes to find. And just like the other robots we've seen, the Dunbat appears to have taken on its own consciousness. It flails rapidly and crashes into the pit below. Now, this made me really sad. As a sucker for any submarine-related game, I was pretty excited to get a ride in this. But with the power out and no way to talk to Catherine, we climb up this conveniently placed stair and begin to crawl through the vents once more. Catherine, alongside me, is upset about the Dunbat.
Oh no! WoW got to the Dunbat before we did, am I right?
Well, it was talking. That's rarely a good sign.
Damn it. The Dunbat was our best shot. I was really banking on this to work.
She suggests that we go to Omicron to find power armor. A power suit. This is what we'll use to descend down to the bottom of the ocean in what's called a climber.
Bad. The only other way would be the climber in Omicron. It's like an elevator which supposedly reaches all the way down into the abyss.
She tells us to start up the prototype Ark so that when we get to the real one, we'll know how to start it.
Seems to be a lot of information on the Ark here. There's a prototype and everything.
Okay.
Let's start it up. I want to see how it works. Maybe we can figure out how to get on the Ark.
On a terminal, we find a note from Catherine, the real one, saying how she will be unable to take any more people into the Ark, and how sorry she is that people took their own lives. While some of Catherine's actions seem slightly disingenuous, it is my belief that she had no part of or intention in having people lose their lives. There is also a checklist of what needs to be done, with one of the items being to ride the climber into the abyss? Well, I sure hope we don't have to do anything like that. In the lab, we find a photo of the Ark and the crew that worked on it. And here we get a clear photo of Catherine. Damn. Never mind. We rearrange some files to open up the Ark simulation and get the necessary data.
Are we done here? Can we go to Omicron and get my new suit now?
Yeah, we should get going.
Want to bring this Ark as a backup?
No, that wouldn't work. This is just a prototype.
Good. I prefer to travel light.
Let's go. Don't forget to take me with you.
In the corner, we find a scanning machine. Catherine asks us to enter it so that she can figure out what we're made of. And her explanation for this is...
I knew what you were made of. It would be a hell of a lot easier to figure out how to get you on the Ark.
I'll give it a try.
We enter the machine, and it turns out we're in the body of a woman named Imogen Reed.
Should I be worried about radiation?
I think we're beyond that.
we can see that the brain of this body is disfigured and filled with mechanical parts. I'll let Catherine and Simon explain their thoughts here.
Imogen? Who's that?
It looks like the basis for your body is one of my old colleagues. A standard cortex chip for robots, including the data reader and the OcuTorch, has just been forced through the skull.
What?
Structure gel has fused the whole construction together. Amazing stuff.
No, hold on, back up. I'm one of your old colleagues?
Well, your body is. Imogen Reed.
That's disgusting.
Hey, don't say that. She was nice to me. Anyway, the cortex chip is good news. That means we can transfer your mind to the Ark with a pilot seat.
Kath, I'm half a dead person.
Yes, it makes sense. Think about it. All those simplistic minds we've run into, just reviving a dead person doesn't seem to work that well. A robot body seems to make people a bit unreliable. You are the best of both worlds. A sound mind and a sound body.
Walking out of the lab and into the labyrinth of the next facility, we see that something has gone very wrong here. A bloody mess is plastered near the elevator, and the intercom next to it gives us the story behind it.
Brandon, where are you?
The man on the intercom is referred to as Brandon, or Brandon Wan.
Yeah, we're safe for now. But you need to get moving. They're gonna figure out where we are and come for us.
Don't worry about it. The stairs are blocked, and I killed the elevator. Pull the connector chip from the lock.
Why? That means you're stuck as well.
Only way to keep you guys safe. Take the shuttle, go to Omicron.
God damn it, Juan. You just had to be the hero, you bastard.
Good luck, sir. Tell Alice I love her.
Scattered throughout the various rooms and closets, we find bodies that still seem to be clinging to life in one way or another, and it seems to be the WOW's doing. As Catherine said earlier, the WOW's sole purpose is to keep everything and everyone alive. We find one room with a locked door, and in order to enter it, we need to break the glass. But this proves to be rather difficult, considering how these things hunt on sound. We'll have to come back to that. In one room, we find a pool of blood and sinew scattered across a table. Alongside it is a recording regarding the infamous Akers.
Terry Akers, chief factor at Delta, first assessment. Akers has clearly been consuming large amounts of structure gel.
Consuming structure gel for 4 weeks? I'm not sure what structure gel is, but it sure as hell sounds like you shouldn't be eating it. We make our way back to the broken window room and find none other than Brandon Wan himself. Listening to his last moments. Wait, how are we able to do that again? Anyway, we hear his tragic end.
You won't get me, motherfucker! You hear me?
We head back to the security room, unlock the door, and grab the chip for the elevator. Putting it together, we take the elevator somewhere. But, as with everything else in this game, it fails. Literally, every mode of transportation that we try to take shits the bed on us.
We're dead!
Kinda weird. Okay, even the fucking ladder breaks. Climbing out of the elevator shaft and hobbling through the hallway, we get bodied by some entity. I thought it was a skill issue at first, but it turns out it was scripted. We flash back to Simon's apartment, and for a moment, we think this is all just a dream.
Don't move. It's okay.
What?
It's over now. Relax.
Ashley? What are you doing here?
Hanging out, like couples do.
We're not...
You don't want me?
Yes, of course, but... What happened?
We fell in love.
But it isn't. The jarring switch from the pleasant mundanity of the apartment to the dark, bloodied halls of the facility really makes us realize how bleak the situation we are in is. We've almost become accustomed to the dreary new reality we're in. It's strange how this digital copy of Simon is able to have flashbacks. Well, this was more of a dream, but it's still interesting. If we're just a digital copy of memories and personality, how is it that we can dream? We proceed through a series of hallways, avoid several monsters, until we finally reach a lever, where we're able to restore power to the doors. And we make our way into a large sewage area. We parkour our way to the other side, where we enter a large drain pipe and slide back out into the open water. This place is the entrance to Omicron, and apparently, we aren't the first ones to try to get in.
What happened? What did she do? Come on, we gotta get her out of there.
Holy shit, Hart blew up the O2 surplus. She sealed the tunnel.
She really didn't want anchors following us to Omicron. Ah, shit, she's fucking hurt.
Her suit is leaking.
We have to get her to Omicron.
Shit, it's bad, real bad.
Oh, fuck, no!
We make our way to the door of Omicron, and surrounding it are even more corpses.
This is Omicron? Hope they saved me a diving suit.
We try to open the door, but the button does nothing. The text on the console reads, "Power failure." It seems that these guys had the same issue when they arrived.
Hey, come on! Open up! What is this shit? Armor for the apocalypse?
Omicron is in quarantine. This is why they didn't answer our call.
Apparently, Omicron was in a quarantine for some reason.
They're not gonna hear you better if you scream.
Jonesy, are you okay? Look, I know you're the strong silent type, but I need you to say something every now and then so I know you're all right. Jonesy? Jones.
Fuck's sakes. Let's try the annex again. Maybe we can break in.
We're losing Jonesy. We need to get her inside.
Well, get in line!
Alvaro, there's nothing we can do for her right now. Hit the stasis switch and let's check the annex.
Walking up to a nearby tower, we find another corpse sitting at its base, but the helmet is removed.
I'm fucking open! And nobody's answering to anything! What kind of cold-hearted motherfuckers would just leave us out here to die?
Don't you get it? They're dead. They're all dead.
Yeah, you're right.
How can you be so calm about this shit? We are dying!
How much air have you guys got?
20 minutes, tops.
Hey, I'm in red. Seconds away before the CO2 gets me.
Stresky.
Why wait, right? I'm the master of my own fate.
Frustrated and hopeless, Stratsky decided to take matters into his own hands. Climbing up into what is apparently the power station, we mess with some of the valves and levers until the pumps turn on and the water drains. Going up to the next level, we find yet another body, but strangely, there is a large cavity in the side of their head. And when we go to do our strange listening thing, we hear nothing but static.
I'm not getting anything. I can't read him like the others. Catherine?
What?
There you are.
Where are we?
We're right next to Omicron, a smaller building connected to the main site. Can't you tell?
No, my view is pretty limited. There's some heavy restrictions on my system access. Did you find a power suit?
Not yet. Trying to figure out how to get into Omicron, the big building.
Oh, okay. Keep up the good work.
That's it? You got nothing?
Good luck.
Thanks.
Plugging Catherine back in, she doesn't seem to give us much help, so we do a bit of digging. Going over to the terminal, we hear an audio recording from a man complaining about a headache and tinnitus.
This tinnitus is becoming crippling.
Or tinnitus, whatever.
Novel drugs.
I'll take it. Feels like my head is about to explode.
Can do. That's stuff for emergencies. Besides, Cameron thinks the ringing will settle when JR reaches 100%.
Then tell him to hurry the fuck up.
Should be a matter of hours. Just hang in there.
Keep me posted.
Yeah, well, I have this thing I need to take care of, so I'll talk to you later, okay?
Sure thing, Herb.
It must have overloaded his black box.
Humans have black boxes?
Here we do. Company policy.
Catherine says how this was due to his black box overriding, and apparently that is how we're able to read other people's memories.
Right. Yeah, you should be able to data mine black boxes, just like the intercom at Theta.
Somehow, when we touch people, that sounds weird. Somehow, when we interact with a corpse, we're able to hack into their black box. Catherine suggests that we find a code or some way to lift the quarantine on Omicron, and when we interact with this other terminal, something strange happens.
Did you do that, Catherine?
What?
Never mind. I think I solved it.
Solved what?
Why do I get the feeling that we just got lured into the back of a van?
Simon's concern is completely justified, and Catherine is, well, a little too comfortable with what just happened. Whether it be her eagerness, ignorance, or courage, it all gives me a sense of unease.
Omicron retracted the quarantine shutters. Lockdown canceled.
Something wants us to come inside.
And we want to go inside. What's the problem? Come on, let's get going.
Heading back to the main entrance, it's still unable to be opened. The airlock is broken, and the terminal tells us to use an alternative entrance. God, nothing works around here. Going around to the side, we find this body placed alone. We get to hear their horrible but beautiful last words.
The world is dead, Richard. Even if we got inside Omicron, what's left? Grab a couple suits and head for Tau? Strasky, Jonesy, Hart. Everyone is dead, and we are right behind them. We're probably the last people left alive. The last moments of mankind. No oxygen left. Better sit down. Don't want to fall into the abyss.
There are worse ways to die. Probably. Why they call you M?
Huh? Oh, it's for Emma.
Emma Alvaro. Ah, I like that. It's a good name. We should have hung out more. I think we would have made good friends.
Thanks. I would have liked that.
Goodbye, Emma.
Bye.
We walk down a rickety, collapsed platform and make our way to a side entrance. Going through the airlock and entering the facility, we're faced with a very grisly scene. Each of the bodies have their heads, and therefore their black box chips removed. So we're unable to hear any of their memories. Exploring around, we find that the power is offline throughout most of the building. We walk up a flight of stairs and enter a large...
I need to stop it.
What was that? At the center of this room, where we just saw that thing, is some sort of bed with a large needle pointing downwards. That doesn't look like a place you want to hang out. Following the signs, we make our way to the dive room, where we plug Catherine back in and speak with her. She says,
Is this Omicron? Everything is so basic, so limited. I hope it's not the Omnitool falling apart. Okay, we need to find you a power suit. You know, so we can go into the abyss without ending up like a recycled can of soda.
You think we'll find one that fits me? I mean, I'm kind of in a suit already.
That's been bothering me too. You know how you were transferred from Vancouver?
Toronto.
From then to now.
How could I forget?
Okay, so we do it again.
You want to send me to the future?
No, you idiot. I want to transfer your mind into a new body.
What?
Look, we already know it can be done. We don't need to make it a big deal.
It is a big deal, Kath. It's a huge fucking deal. There's got to be something else that can take us down there.
But Dunbat at Theta was the only vessel that could take that pressure, and you saw what happened.
Then think of something else.
Simon, please. You don't have to switch this instant. Just play along for now. If we find something else, then great. If not...
I'm not promising anything.
Thank you, Simon. Have a look around the room. This is where they would keep the power suits, if there are any left.
With concerns about how the dive suit would fit, Catherine says how she wants to transfer our mind to a new body, the same way we were transferred from Toronto to Upsilon. Catherine turns off the power in the station, and we find a dive suit.
It's basically just a Cortex chip working a few pints of structure gel, powered by the on-suit battery pack.
Looks like someone had a bad day at the office.
Exactly. If you think about it, we're actually incredibly lucky. We found a suit with an already dead body inside.
Going to the terminal and trying to boot up the suit, we quickly realize that it's not in great condition.
Not exactly grade A material.
Catherine gives us a grocery list of a
Cortex chip, structure gel, and a battery pack. That's one hell of a shopping list.
To access the rooms that contain these materials, we need to remove the station-wide lockdown from each area via this terminal. We play a mini-game and reactivate the power, and as we go to walk away, the screen glitches, and for a brief moment, the text reads, "Get the virus." This is oddly similar to what we saw in the power station. Walking into a lab, we find another headless corpse. Hey, at least they're clean.
Huh?
And various notes and photos on experiments on the structure gel. This structure gel is the strange mass that the WoW is spreading through, and apparently what that one guy Akers was eating for weeks. The various entries on the terminal suggest that they have been experimenting with using structure gel to reanimate corpses. The final entry says how, quote, overwhelming evidence concludes that all deformed creatures, the fish, the sharks, and even the helpers, were manipulated by the WoW via structure gel. I can't say for certain if it's bad code or carefully programmed mercy killing. One thing I hope for certain is that we as a human species make sure not to put AI into any physical bodies. That will probably not turn out very well for us, as we're seeing in this situation. As we're reading the text, the screen glitches again, and this time says, "Destroy the WoW." Along the wall is a ventilation hood with structure gel inside. Yeah, I worked in HVAC and actually built these, so I kind of know what it is. Anyway, we take the chip out of it and place it on a tray. Using this machine, we pour structure gel on it, and because of its almost magical properties, the board is repaired. There's also a dead mouse that we can inject with the gel. And watch it reanimate. Although this more looks like it just flopping around due to electrical impulses in its rotting muscles.
It came back to life. Something like it.
Leaving the lab, we walk onto a balcony, and... Okay, what the hell was that? What's important? So many questions, and so little answers. In another room, we find a recorder, where two women talk about Site Alpha inside of the Abyss.
We're friends, right? Yes. Do you think Alpha is real? What makes you... Why would you ask that? I think Ross is trying to tell me something.
One of them questions if it's even real, and the other appears apprehensive to even speak about it.
Crazy, right? You've been down there. I just thought you could talk some sense into me. Ronnie, I'm not at liberty to... I can't talk about that.
We find a tablet with an entry talking about a Dr. Ross, who was apparently reanimated by the WoW, or was at least beginning to. Nearby is another recorder, with two people talking about a sudden signal amplification in the black boxes. You know, the chips in their brains, and ironically, how they feel like their heads are going to explode.
Oh, I know. Everything from the sudden signal amplification in black boxes to having a comatose Dr. Ross locked up in the glass jar. We've all been going a bit nuts.
Tell me about it. Feels like my head's about to explode.
Yeah, I think I see what's going on here. Going to the upper level, we use a terminal to start up the power again. And another message. An eternal nightmare. In the cafeteria, we find a lifeless body next to a laptop, with 3 audio recordings. They go into detail about how the black boxes are causing headaches, nosebleeds, and uncontrolled bleeding from the eyes. Sounds like a terrible way to go.
Things are out of hand. The staff looks like they're about to explode. Every other person walks around with nosebleeds, and the rest keep wiping stains of blood from their eyes to keep them from overflowing.
The woman on the recording also talks more about Dr. Ross.
It's to do with the WoW trying to free Ross somehow, for sure. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the body just got up and left.
Sounds like a lot of straightforward foreshadowing. So, for some reason, the WoW is making people's heads explode, and also trying to revive Dr. Ross. From this area, we're able to make it to the other side of the locked airlock from earlier. What's horrible about this situation is that those on the outside spent their dying breaths clawing at the door. And those on the inside were doing the same to get out. We head into the power room in search of a battery, where we encounter the most horrifying creature yet. And after getting my shit rocked in by it, we managed to grab the battery and scoot past this absolute monstrosity. Well, at least I thought I did. We still need the Cortex chip, so making our way to the lower level, we restore power and head into a small maintenance room, where we play another minigame to take the Cortex chip out of this drone. In a nearby room are a variety of senseless drawings about Site Alpha, and drawings of this ball. Heading back to the dive room,
piss off another one of WoW's monsters.
We have everything we need, right?
Yeah. Let's get to work.
We walk up to the dive suit, combine all of the materials that we collected, and boot it up.
This is crazy.
Don't worry, it'll work. Make sure it's all bunched together with the structure gel connecting all the parts. Alright, try activating the suit from the terminal again.
I can't believe we're doing this. Won't it be like before? Close my eyes and then...
And then open them again.
Alright, let's do it.
Thank you, Simon. Go sit in the pilot seat in the next room. You might need to boot it up.
At this point, Catherine tells us to sit in the pilot's seat in the next room. She also reassures us that it'll be just like last time. We will close our eyes and wake up in the other body. And while technically she isn't lying, she's definitely misleading us. We head over to the pilot's seat and align the frequencies.
That's everything. You can climb into the pilot seat now.
Already?
I have everything under control, so please, have a seat.
Taking a seat, Simon makes the same comment.
Sorry about any discomfort. This should be over soon.
It's like having your picture taken.
But with the most expensive camera in the world.
You know, Indian stock photos would steal their souls.
In this case, they'd be right.
In the blink of an eye, we wake up in the suit.
There must be something wrong. Can't you run a diagnosis or something?
And on the other side of the wall, we hear Simon.
What was that?
No, it's just...
Why was it still talking?
It's the same like before.
Catherine, why was he still talking?
Alright, pause. Remember earlier?
No, you idiot. I want to transfer your mind into a new body.
Transferred. And now here she is, gaslighting us saying,
Catherine, why was he still talking?
That's how it works, you know that.
What do you mean?
You know it's not magic. You were copied. The sleeping Simon in the seat was copied, and now you are here, just like Simon lived on in Toronto.
God damn you, Kath. 2 Simons? There can't be 2 Simons.
What did you think would happen?
That you were gonna take my mind and put it into another body, like a brain transplant.
I'm sorry, it wouldn't work that way.
You realize how messed up this is?
Please, I didn't mean to upset you.
How did you expect me to react to this shit?
Please stop.
You're fucking disgusting. What's gonna happen to him?
He'll sleep for a while, a few days.
And then what? Wake up in this fucking nightmare again? All alone? So cruel.
Well, what do you want me to do with him? Make friends? Let him know that we have to leave him behind when we go into the abyss?
What if he didn't need to wake up?
You do that?
I don't know. Maybe.
There. I set it up for you. Hit the switch if you want to drain his battery. He'll die within a minute.
Catherine gives us the choice to essentially kill Simon, the one we've been playing as this entire time. The interesting thing is, whatever choice we make is exactly what the other Simon would do, and what he'd want. Since we're identical copies of each other from the exact same time, it doesn't matter which one of us was sitting in the pilot seat. Both of us would make the same choice, which ultimately brings us some peace in ending this Simon's life. So, we pull the plug. We watch as he breathes his last breath. And, honestly, this is a much better outcome than the unimaginable amount of panic and loneliness he would feel if we left him here. At least in my opinion. Fully suited up, we grab Catherine and make our way to the elevator. I mean, the climber, and have some awkward chit-chat with Catherine.
Are we done here?
Yeah,
Activate the climber, please.
sure thing.
Take a seat and we'll be off.
Sitting in the chair reminds me of this drop ride from Six Flags. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but yeah. Simon begins to have an existential crisis after unplugging the original Simon. Or the original copy, I suppose. And I don't blame him. I'll leave this conversation uninterrupted.
Have we figured out what happens when we die yet? Is that even possible? If there's some kind of afterlife, do you think my place is taken? The real me died like 100 years ago. Is there still room for me? And what about the Simon I killed at Omicron? What do you think, Catherine? Is there a heaven full of redundant copies of the same people? Is there someone up there who called me an imposter? It's dumb luck, right? I woke up in the right body. I basically flipped a coin, and if I had called the wrong side, I'd be rotting away at Omicron. I mean, there's nowhere to know, right? You didn't hit the make sure Simon wakes up in the right body switch, did you? Not that you would know. I mean, he would still claim to be the right Simon. Christ. This is awful. We did an awful fucking thing. And you wouldn't mind. Why would you? How could you know that it's not me, the me that I am, the same that I've always been? Please say something. I don't want to think. Please.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to upset you.
Say anything.
When I was little, I used to climb the stairs all the way to the top of the building. And I can still feel how I did it, tuck my arms so I could push the heavy steel door open. Well, the first time that I dared go up there, I stepped out onto the roof and watched the smog rise and fall over Taipei. I got all the way up to the corner ledge and, I felt the warm wind in my hair and the sun was setting and the streets below were shadowed by the tall buildings. The people pushing through the crowd flowed like paint from an artist's brush. Street food vendors filled the air with aromas of all my favorite foods. For a brief moment, I felt connected to the world in a way that I never had before. It was the most profound feeling of comfort and sense of belonging I could ever hope for. I really never felt the same way again, but I went up to the roof many times after. I'm not religious, but I can see why people would be. The privilege of being makes a strong case, at least every once in a while.
Do you still feel that sense of awe? Even like this?
Things are different, but we're still here.
What's the point of going on? Everyone's gone. All the people still left are digital copies trapped in computers at the bottom of the sea. We'll never be able to rebuild or reclaim what we were.
Are you really so unhappy being what you are, or is this about the man who went for a scan 100 years ago?
Both, I guess. When I was back in Toronto, even the worst case, the darkest futures I could predict, they at least included my previous life somehow. I feel so uprooted. There's nothing here that I recognize, nothing that makes me feel like I belong. Even if we make it to the Ark, would it be any different? I'd still be alone. No friends. No family.
While sharing a touching moment with Catherine, the power suddenly shuts off.
If not, you still have...
Catherine? Kath? Hello, Catherine. What happened?
We climb to the top of the climber and pause to take a look at the beautiful, glowing sea creatures. At the bottom of this seemingly endless dark hole, we find these glimmers of light. Now, not to get too poetic, but perhaps this is a parallel to the desperation we feel in this situation, with the hope of a better future surrounding us. We've been through some of the most terrible things a person can go through, yet we're sitting here with the carrot and stick of the Ark right in front of our faces. The ability to save humanity, in one sense or another.
Hey, I know it's not much, but why have we stopped moving?
The power blacked out for a moment. Think it could be the atmospheric pressure. It's pushing pretty hard, really testing the limits of my suit.
Don't worry, it should hold.
Comforting.
It will hold.
We reactivate the power and head back inside.
Does time freeze when you're not powered?
Time feels omitted more than anything.
What's the difference?
I don't feel like I'm being held back or hindered. And I don't have the opportunity to reflect on the time I'm missing. It's simply missing.
Sounds like sleeping without the dreaming.
Yes, but generally you anticipate when you're about to sleep, and there's a natural continuation since we tend to wake up where we went to sleep. My experience is more like an ever-changing moment that never really seems to find closure.
Sounds kind of like a movie being edited live.
I suppose so. I guess it sounds exciting, but it really keeps me activated to the point of exhaustion.
It's rough.
Could be worse. Could be a time traveler stuck in a body made from black goo.
That'd be the worst.
After a few seconds of silence, the power cuts again.
You did it! You did it! I will make preparations.
Oh, good, you're back.
What happened?
Something dropped onto the cage. Knocks you right out.
It spoke to me.
Looked like a man, one of WoW's creatures. It just stared at you for a moment, then threw itself down the abyss.
And, as Catherine said, it's one of the WoW's creatures. And for whatever reason, it's after us.
Okay, so this is the Omega Sector. It's about an acre of the abyssal plan used by Pathos 2. I expect we'll have to do some walking before we reach town.
You haven't been here before?
Not in a way that'll help us.
Right, the other you has been here. We're following your little footsteps, Kat.
When I had footsteps.
You could still be down here somewhere, technically.
Don't remind me, freaks me out. Alright, let's head for Tower and find that arc.
We land at the Omega site and follow the little light that we can see. On one of the intercoms, we hear what sounds like Catherine and someone else trying to make it to Tau.
Tau? Come in, Tau. Please answer, Tau. Nothing. It's dead.
Let's move out. We'll try the next one.
We find the mangled corpse of an unlucky traveler, and they did not stick to the light. Read the sign, buddy.
Jesus, did you see that? Stick to the lamplights. They won't go near them.
Glass! We lost the path! We need to go back!
I know where to go. Come on.
It's over there! The light is over there!
Final push, Ross. Almost there. We just...
We push on through the torrents and stick to the blue lamps, making our way to Tau. We encounter the beast that most likely killed that guy. On the path to Tau, we arrive at an outpost, where we find logs detailing the various creatures that are haunting this area. The final observation is that of an unknown creature that has an affinity to light. Boy. The WoW has infected nearly all of the wildlife in this area, and is apparently causing them to attack humans. But the WoW's ultimate goal is to protect the station, and, well, humanity. So if it's infecting these creatures, why is it attacking us? Does it know something we don't? Entering another station, we hear from another group that was down here before us. They finally made contact with Tau, and Tau says how the weather is fair.
This is Tau? Who is this?
This is Ian Peterson of Theta calling. I got a team with me, and we're about half a kilometer from Tau.
What? How did... You came in the climber?
Listen, we're having a really hard time with this sector. Heavy turbulence is making it difficult to move forward, and the wildlife you got is absolutely rabid.
The storm comes and goes. The instruments show the weather is relatively fair right now. You should move out as soon as possible. Stick to the lights. The critters should leave you alone.
Alright, you heard the man. We're moving out, people.
We activate a helper bot to help give us some light on our journey, and press onward. Now, if you have arachnophobia, I highly suggest you look away. Finally arriving at the door of Tau, we enter the airlock. The long process of the draining water gives us a moment to reflect on how far we've come. We started in Simon's apartment, took the train to Munchie's, got zapped 100 years into the future at Upsilon, escaped and made our way to Lambda, met Catherine and helped her with just one thing, went through the horrors at the Curie, rode an escape pod into Theta, and broke our way into Omicron. And now, here we are. The Ark is nearly in our grasp, and we've never been happier to be inside.
Let's find the Ark.
Walking down the hall and into the first room, we listen to the intercom and hear how bad things have gone here.
Welcome to Tau. What's left of it.
Are you guys alright? What happened here?
We ran out of real food long ago. People have been getting sick. Haven't heard from anyone in months.
No shit, they all think you're dead down here. Some failed evac story circulating at Omicron.
Oh, God.
Listen, son. We're on an important mission, and we need your help to operate the Omega space gun. When it's done, we can all head back up the plateau. But now we need to get moving.
Of course. Head on through to the habitat. We shut off the front section to preserve power.
All right. See you soon.
One of the dive suits is mysteriously missing, and a trail of blood and goo can be seen dragged outside of its pod. Looking at the log, we can see that one of the suits is active. Here at Tau. I'm sure it's just a friendly researcher. We make our way into the heart of the facility and meet this motherfucker. An absolute giga-chad of an enemy. No weaknesses, just a massive beast full of fucking hate. We play Ring Around the Rosie with it for a few minutes, until we're able to make it to a ladder. We cross over and drop into a common area. And this feels oddly human. There's notes and dishes and a mess, and it feels like there's life. But this feeling is right for all the wrong reasons. Surrounding this table are various doors, and some of them are med bays. And in those med bays...
What the fuck did we do?
Hey, try not to think about it.
My whole life, I've been a good man. We messed up, Sarah.
There.
I should have launched. Taken the chance.
There's time. If Ashkin says we could try again, when things calm down.
You gotta do it, you know? You got to.
In the hands of an unknown dead man is a photo of Catherine. Another body holds a conversation with Catherine. The real Catherine. She seemed to be losing hope in the Ark, even though it was her creation.
Did not expect it to end like this. Should have jumped the climber back to Omicron.
Without the Ark?
Forget about the Ark.
No, you don't get to say that. It's the only thing left of value, you know that.
Yeah.
Promise you won't leave it behind.
We'll all be dead one day. Then what?
Well, better keep it safe until then. Don't want the wow to take it, swallow it whole.
These dead people appear to be those who have traveled to Tau with the Ark.
Sorry, Catherine.
Walking back into the common area, we hear this. I think at this point, it's obvious that these words are from whatever, or whoever, that creature from the climber was. Taking a ladder up to the second floor, we find a human. And sitting right next to her is the Ark.
You're different.
Are you human?
Sarah Lindwall, payload technician at your service. A rare sight, am I right?
I'd say so. You're the first normal living human I've seen.
There's not many left down here. Most of them are up on the plateau.
You mean at Omicron?
Yeah.
There's no one alive at Omicron.
You've been there?
I've been all over. The power plant at Upsilon, the ruins of Lambda, the abandoned Delta, Theta.
You've been to Theta?
There's not a lot left of Pathos 2.
And, I'm the only living person you've met? You mean I'm the last living human on the planet?
I'm sorry.
Who are you again?
Simon Jarrett.
Stationed out?
Nowhere. I used to work in a bookshop in Toronto. Long story.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
I'm trying to find the Ark.
Why would you? How do you know about that?
I've heard it's the last hope for mankind.
Damn right it is. Now what do you want with it?
Take it to the Gun at Phi. Launch it into space.
That was the plan, all right. I've been guarding it ever since we brought it back to Tau. Just couldn't bring myself to let go. To tell you the truth, I don't have the strength to argue. And I certainly don't have the time to wait for the next sentient thing shuffling through here. Go ahead. Take it.
Thank you. Can I get you anything? Do anything for you?
You could kill me.
Good one.
If I knew you'd come, I would have cleaned this place up a little bit.
You serious about me killing you?
No, I'd love to hang around here until I dry up to the size of a raisin. Simon, this fucking sucks. I don't want to live like this. I still can't believe I'm the last one. It's crazy.
We grab the Ark, place it on the cargo elevator, and fulfill her wishes.
None of this feels right.
Simon, I want to die.
Sarah.
Just think about it. Would you stay with me, please? It won't be long now. Please, just stay. What a crazy thing this was. Life. At least I won't have to turn 30. Hooray! Wish I could have died at home with my friends. You know what? I prefer it this way. I liked Pathos. Liked my colleagues. Ian, Nick, Jasper, even Catherine. People thought she was weird because she was quiet, but she was cool. Simon, you still there?
I'm here, Sarah.
Don't let him die, okay? Send them out there. To the stars.
The black box is inactive. Probably found a way to switch it off.
Interestingly, her black box is disabled, which is probably the only reason she's alive. The WoW seemed to be able to interfere with any electronics, and having something electronic installed into your brain is probably not the best in that situation. We head down to the dive room, grab the Ark again, and place it on this rail system. After some precise and gentle re-engineering, water fills this tube, and we begin our final journey to the Omega space gun. Along the way, we continuously have that same voice speaking to us, and apparently, we're approaching Site Alpha. The same place that woman on the recording was so interested in. and that the other one was so apprehensive about.
Do you think Alpha is real? Ronnie, I'm not at liberty to... I can't talk about that.
Twisted, thick lines of the WoW are tangled throughout the whole facility. And this man speaking to us is Dr. Ross, the same one that the WoW apparently reanimated.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the noose from which the WoW will hang itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They looked inside a cabinet. It was so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And then the girl, she figured it out. She was going to take care of it, but the WoW shrieked. They all died. You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
According to Dr. Ross, the structure gel that we used to build this suit at Omicron is a poison to the WoW, crafted by him. And, well, Ross wants us to use that to destroy the WoW. We enter a large room and come face to face with Ross in the heart of the WoW.
What the hell is that?
The heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2. All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feed it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart.
Please, I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon. But you can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Oh, God!
Talk about plot armor. With the WoW and Ross both dead, we walk back outside. Have multiple close encounters with this worm creature. And enter Phi.
This has to be Phi, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
We plug Catherine back in and give her a brief of what has happened since we last talked to her at the climber.
Chris, what the hell happened to your arm?
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay, though? Can you do stuff?
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kinda lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to Phi, so it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it.
And Simon talks about how, from his perspective, this morning he just woke up in his bed in Toronto 100 years in the past, and just a couple hours later, he's here saving humanity.
This feels like the longest day of my life. Has it just been one day?
I have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104, 3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
You know, I woke up in my bed today. It just happens to have happened 100 years ago.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I? Who am I?
Walking around the facility trying to find the Ark, we find something else. Catherine. And I mean Catherine.
Here. Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrel, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than that. Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark! I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down!
Get away from me! No!
What the fuck did you do?
It was an accident.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Oh God. Catherine.
Did you say something?
It's you. You had an accident.
What do you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way.
Digital Catherine says it's better this way, and she's right. Having Catherine here would be a major problem. We finally find the Ark and load it into this bullet.
I think I found the assembly space.
What do you see?
It's like a huge open shell, a bullet ready to be loaded.
That's great. All prepared for the Ark.
On our way back, Catherine talks about wanting a friend, and we're happy to oblige.
Did you have friends in Toronto, Simon? Real friends?
There was some. Jesse, Sean, Kevin.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one, someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Oh, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Do you think the Ark will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
Numbers doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try.
Is that it?
I'm really not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Contact up and we'll head out to the gun.
We go back to Catherine, and she explains how we will use a pilot seat to launch the Ark and transfer our minds.
We just need to get the shell into the gun and then, kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean, it's a pilot seat? Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
We approach the gun and take a seat.
I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat. Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Using the pilot seat, we load the bullet containing the Ark into the space gun.
There we go.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
We push the button and begin the launch and transfer.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention it.
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want you to know I appreciate it.
Time, 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Just give it a second.
Thought you guys would have better bandwidth.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
You gotta be kidding me!
5, 4, 3.
Come on, load!
2.
Yes! Fuck yeah, we made it! Woo! I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No, this is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot. I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You
fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
And just like that, Simon's story ends. He is at the bottom of the ocean, without Catherine, left alone to die. And while he may have single-handedly saved humanity, he is the one who must bear all the pain to let their lives go on. Now, it's important to note that there are 4 copies of Simon. The original human Simon, the first copy, the dive suit copy, and the alleged copy in the Ark. At the end of the game, we realize that we've been viewing this entire thing through the perspective of the third Simon, the dive suit Simon. Every other Simon that we have experienced is just this dive suit Simon's memories, or artificial memories. The Simon in the Ark is not what we end on. Or is it?
3, 2,
Whoa. Is this... Did it work? Catherine? Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
No, that was not an alternate ending. Both are the real ending. Simon exists in both scenarios, just like at Omicron. And when I first played this game, I bawled my eyes out here. SOMA was told so convincingly and immersively that it leaves a major impact on you. The sound design, music, art direction, story, gameplay, all of it culminates into an unforgettable experience.